A question I wanted to start with for you today. I have been thinking a lot personally about how much I think, specifically as a woman, but this is where the question will come in. There was like this pressure that your best was your 20s, your best body, your best friendships, your best sex, your best adventure. Like I think collectively with some of my friends felt that like 20s pressure. And I've been thinking about, since the Babies and Bumps event actually this weekend, I've been thinking about how I actually also thought, like our best relationship and vibe and energy and sex would have been in our 20s pre-kids, but I'm finding now that I actually think we are in and continuing to grow in the best space of our relationship ever. And that's exciting to me, especially because I thought everything peaked early on. So that was a long explanation, but you're like, yeah, that was a long explanation. What's that like for you?
Yeah. I do feel like women probably feel that more, especially because a lot in our culture human culture probably revolves around woman's youthfulness.
Yeah, fertility.
Yeah, and those signs of fertility and that sort of thing. I do think that it's probably stronger, heavier, or whatever for women, but also for men, there have been a number of times that, I have thought about like the male sex drive declines, and apparently the woman's sex drive can incline. So like a woman might be feeling more sexual or interested in sex mid to late age versus when she's younger. But men are like ready all the time when they're younger.
Yeah.
So it's kind of a mismatch. That's maybe why older women date younger men. But I do think I agree about our relationship being better than I would have expected. I don't know that I thought it peaked, but like entirely, but I do think I thought certain things had peaked. And I guess there were many times I thought like, babe, when we're old and wrinkly, like, and we don't have a sex drive, and I just, want to have sex all the time. When we were in our 20s. And I was like, thinking to myself, like, let's do this while we're young and hot. So, but that was, even though it was exciting, it was kind of surface level, right?
Yeah.
And the sort of quality, yes, I didn't use depth because of but
obvious reason.
The quality, like, it's more fulfilling than just like gratifying, right?
Yeah. Layered.
Yeah. And even though it has slowed down, most of that I think has been because of the stress and pressure of that comes with more responsibility, and then the kids being around all the time, and if you're in the mood, you just have to put it off because you don't have the opportunity. But then when you finally get to, it can be a very great connection, actually. So that's what I think. I don't know that men have that same pressure, but definitely it's not non-existent. Okay. There are times that I have definitely thought that, like, hey, we're in the prime of our health. Okay. The prime, we're in prime vitality. This is it. Let's live it up. So, yeah. But something else happens, Like, you never really stop growing. Your body starts to age, but the rest of you, your heart, soul, and mind can continue to grow, I guess. Not be away with that. Your relationship can continue to develop. Yeah. Any other questions?
No, I feel very fulfilled by that dialogue.
Cool.
Any other questions or thoughts from you? Do you want to talk more?
I do. Yeah, I don't know what else to say. I guess I think that we just had that event, and people were asking about I mean, this was a slightly different topic, but they were asking about, like, how do you talk about your sex life and, like, after kids, and how do you figure this out, and everything has changed.
I think too, I just want to hit on, because I think someone was talking specifically about during pregnancy, and like how I just like remember how it like feels different, like physically feels different sometimes, but also like emotionally you're like, my baby's in there, don't hurt it.
Stop trying to thrust that stick at my baby. Yeah, I gotcha.
But it was fun. It was really fun for me. I want to hear your perspective too, but to like just have that conversation of like, it gets to be playful and things get to be awkward. I think, don't quote me on this yet, because I'm just thinking, I'm externally processing right now. Okay, so don't take me at the gospel here, which we won't get into that side. Anyways, I think that when you stop having awkward moments in your relationship, that's probably a bad sign. That's a sign that things are going downhill.
They're getting stale.
You're getting stale. You're getting in autopilot. You're not asking new questions. You're not seeking and making space for these different parts of you that haven't been prominent before.
Right. Yeah. You remember puberty. Growing is awkward.
Growing is awkward.
Yeah.
Yes.
It just feels awkward. Yeah.
Yeah. I want people to feel awkward in their relationships more. And because I think that the vulnerability that awkwardness requires a certain amount of safety.
Okay, yeah.
To let your awkward self out, to ask questions, to say, hey, we've done it in this position for 15 years, and that doesn't feel good for me anymore. That, like, that requires safety, to have vulnerability that brings awkwardness.
Yeah, so that's a prerequisite, to have the safety in the relationship so that you can step into the awkwardness of trying something new.
So I think that awkwardness is a really good sign.
Yeah. Yeah, it's kind of like, I don't know, I think it's like that when you're first learning sex, I guess, and maybe it's teenager, early 20s, wherever that falls for a person, there's that awkwardness there because you're trying new things and you're figuring it out. And I think a lot of times it's human nature to be like, okay, well, I've got that figured out. That's down pat. Don't have to. Then let's move on to other things. But yeah, I think if it's a living relationship, it needs to continue to grow.
Yes, things change.
Things change.
In so many ways.
In so many. Sorry. Okay. Yeah, that's good.
Alright, so maybe go forth with
awkwardness. Go be awkward.
Go be awkward.
Just do it.
Okay? Let your little awkward teeny self out. Teenagey.
Yeah. Teeny awkward.